I started working with XI in December of 2021. I listened to a lot of his podcasts and the free frequency work that accommodated that. And I started to notice a big difference with how I was interacting with my husband, actually. I had a tendency to get very anxious when he would go out and come back home late for whatever reason. But I noticed after listening to a specific podcast, I think it was on jealousy, actually, when he came back, my reaction was completely neutral and it was very loving and accepting. Oh, you went out, more curiosity about where he went. And if he didn't tell me, that was okay too. So when that shift happened, I knew that there was something to Moss's work because I had been trying to shift this pattern for a decade plus through other modalities that I've tried in the past, and it hasn't shifted or didn't shift. And after just listening to a couple of meditations, the free ones, it shifted. So I knew that I had to proceed with his work the next 18 days. After I did a series of Moss's podcasts for intensively for a month, I had this humongous detox reaction and I got a very bad cough. I had a history of chest coughs and I had actually in my x-rays some type of scar tissue in my chest. And it was just very, very bad. I think I was sick for a week and it was probably the most terrible cough that I had ever had. And I didn't realize then, but I noticed I said, okay, this must be the detox that Mas was talking about in his podcast. And after that, I could breathe so much clearer. And it was amazing. I could almost take a full breath down to, I can't see it, but it's down to my diaphragm. Before my breath would go as far as maybe like mid chest. And that had some physical changes, which I thought was pretty fascinating. And also, I noticed the month after I had kind of done the intensive 1 month with the Mass podcast, when I went for blood work, I was in remission. This was my second time having active lupus. And no matter what type of medication they kept on giving me, it wouldn't, um, I couldn't get into remission and the doctors didn't know what to do. And I did all these types of modalities that I had tried, healing modalities, and it was Massa's work that I believe had sent me into remission. So the doctors, they just said, good job, you're in remission, whatever you're doing, keep on doing it. So I have been going back for regular visits every 3 months, and I'm also doing my blood work for every 3 months. So this has been a change since I first started XI. I was doing blood work every month and I was going for regular visits and I was extremely underweight. I believe I was 110 pounds and I'm 5'4". So that's quite skinny. Throughout my journey with XI, which has only been a year and a little bit, my medications have been changed and reduced. So now I'm only taking 2 medications, whereas before I was taking 5 medications. And I was able to gain 18, I'm now 118 pounds, which is an 8-pound gain, which is much healthier than what I was before. And I'm just generally feeling better. I noticed during 18 days or total human reset, during that whole month, I would be sleeping the month away. That would be kind of my typical month. I would do only the necessities and the rest of it, I would rest or relax and kind of just allow it to process through my system. And I would feel like I'd have more energy at the end of the month after the detox was done, which is a big bonus. Yeah, I could do basically what a normal person could do now. I could pick up my kids, I could engage with them, we play, I could tell them stories. I couldn't do that before. I couldn't even tell them a bedtime story because the amount of physical breath it would take to read out the words in just a child's book. I couldn't maintain the stamina to do that. Now it's not a problem. And we sing, we dance, we do all the fun stuff that I couldn't do 7 years ago. So it's been a real gift. I'm able to do a lot more. To cook now, I couldn't really cook before. I'm doing dishes, I'm doing laundry, household things that people take for granted, but I definitely don't take for granted. I'm like, yes, I can do this now and it feels pretty good.